Welcome back to Exalted 3rd Edition Dragonblood Crimes of Nature. Last time, somebody was a birthday boy. Somebody had a little guy just on his birthday, and there was a couple of dramatic plot incidences with one of the ghosts of the Oblivion coming over and talking about his shitty former work conditions with his boss. But birthday was the large part of it. It's all good.
Very
It's all
nice.
cool.
The Applebee's came down personally and gave unto you a chicken fried steak.
But yeah, cats were wrangled, gifts were exchanged, conversations were had, ancestors were spoken with. Pretty good time all told, and surprising amount of insight to the thought process of Skin Man, also known as 108 Regrets, clinging to the precipice of oblivion, which a lot of people gave him a lot of shit over until it was pointed out that they had names about as ridiculous. So, at this point, the crew, having heard of developments in Gonzona, having had its seal apparently break, and Ruby Gauntlet Tyrant and attendant new disciple, Oak? The ghost of Oak, possibly? Looting it for supplies and weaponry. There was that to attend to. But there was also the pressing matter of maybe we should go check on Bismuth Maw, the Lunar. We haven't done that at all. That's still kind of a hanging thread we should probably poke at some point soon.
Mm-hmm.
So the crew was left after this discussion to reconvene topside out of the grate below and discuss the next move.
Where are we currently?
Still within the monastery.
So we need to go deal with Business Maw. But we also have this issue of the Gonzota Redoubt.
Which is more pressing?
I have an idea.
We had discussed this during the trailing times that, for one, Bismuth is much, much closer to us right now than Gonzota.
And
The other one.
Milan has an idea. What if we send Grey Falls to go check out the Gonzota Redoubt? We just tell them, hey, the cursed box of bad place artifacts has been opened. Could you go please check on it?
Big news.
I'd be a little worried sending them there without us there to back them up, because a trap might have been laid specifically for us, and I don't want anyone else to.
Are we just
fall
doing
into
a
that.
scouting mission over there?
We don't like these people. They're
Oh.
House Sinis.
If
I
the
have an
trap
idea.
was intended for us, then for it to be confronted by anyone not us leaves the trap makers at a disadvantage.
I have an idea. Does anyone seen Stalwart Daughter?
Yeah, she's over in the corner.
Cool. I'm going to walk out to Stalwart Daughter.
Alright.
I'm going to use a new charm I just got.
What are you
I'm
doing?
going to use aminal empathy technique. And hey Stalwart Dottie, how you doing?
There is a tilt of the head from the horse that is just a couple of degrees too far for it to be unsettling. Well,
It's going well, you say?
yes.
Can you do me a favor?
I can try?
Can you go gallop down hereabouts? I'm going to point on a map. And just kind of like do a vibe check real quick.
A what?
You know, just like see if there's any people with, armed people, or how do I communicate the idea of an ambush to a horse?
Danger, hidden danger?
Hidden danger. If you see any bad predators, very nasty, sharp boys.
Okay, I understand. I can look
You-
to that.
You do?
She nods.
Wow, what a good horse. Okay, here's payment, and I give her. What is? Actually, I'm gonna ask. Hey, what's your favorite food?
It's oats.
Do you want some oats or carrot or?
She immediately lights up at the suggestion of oats.
All right, here's the advance payment, and I give her a bag of oats, and I promise more upon receipt of the errand.
She gently kind of presses her head against your side and then just kind of stares and then trots off towards the gate.
Thanks. I'm gonna walk back over to the table. All right, I got it covered.
By means of.
Stalwart daughter. She's gonna go down there and check it.
You said,
Yeah.
But
Did you just send Milan's horse off without asking Milan first?
Well, I mean, yeah. But really, does anyone own a horse?
Yes.
Milan,
Right, you know.
retrieve your horse.
What? This makes sense. For two places at once.
Milan runs after his horse.
This is a bad idea.
We have a storm. Never mind.
Yeah.
No, just
Dang.
upon feeling the empathic link,
Gang?
Stalwart Daughter is not too far
Yeah.
away.
What?
Milan is a summoner.
Yeah.
The old man is also a summoner.
Uh huh. Wait, did Milan summon a horse?
Yang.
What?
Yang.
This is the easiest. I don't understand what you're getting at. The easiest solution is to ask the horse.
I'm with Yang
Just
on this
pressing
one.
down increasingly firmly on Yang. Yang.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
I think Yang has the right idea of it.
For what it's worth, I think Yang's question of did Milan summon a horse is completely fair, given how good of a horse that is.
Considering how weird of a horse that is.
Good horse. Don't call Stalwart Daughter weird. She's perfect.
Darren, can I summon a guardian demon to protect my horse while she goes down to investigate the Gonzoda Redoubt?
Now we're talking. Okay.
I really want to hear a scouting report from the horse. Is
Oh
what I'm
my
trying to
God.
angle for here.
There.
Fair
That's
warning, that takes
responsible.
like 4 hours.
Yeah, you're gonna have to wait until it is. Actually, I already established this was at dusk, so you would be about at the time where you could summon a demon. It would take you 4 hours, and you would have to specify exactly what kind of demon you're looking for, if you have a particular type in mind, or if you have a role in mind, and leaving it open. But yes, you could theoretically do that.
Okay, I want a demon that it's the nature of this demon. It is very protective of horses.
Horse demon.
All right, so you have actually 2 options here. One, you're going to summon some kind of weird specific baby demon, or you're summoning the equivalent of Poseidon, and you're fucked. You realize this, right?
Yes.
What if the campaign ends tonight because I talked to a horse?
then we've done our job well.
Okay. What I want is something that I can bind to Stalwart Daughter to act as a protective entity if, say, like some undead thing tries to attack her. It
A
will
car alarm?
a car alarm that will punch whoever is attempting to break into the car.
Okay, that's more specific.
I have a suggestion in mind that would make use of a very well-established stock demon that is already capable of
yes,
this.
so did I, but go ahead.
This seems like a job for a jeweled wasp.
I was
Oh,
thinking
I
of,
love those guys.
I was thinking a jeweled wasp or a blood gate.
I want to do the jeweled wasp.
In the event of an emergency, we'll just grab the horse and hoist it into the air and fly off to safety.
Big wasp.
All right, yeah. The Agata, the beautiful wasp, the jeweled wasp, known for wanting to just kind of go places, take people places, and see things, and is quite bonded with whatever it is told to bond with, or its summoner. Sometimes it goes a little bad, but Stalwart Daughter's a good horse and can probably handle whatever happens if that goes off.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Why
Actually,
didn't we just have the jeweled wasp check out the space and come back and tell us about it?
Because that horse is going to do a much better job.
The horse will give us them, but the horse is much better at scouting. No one suspects the horse.
Keep in mind, of course, that jewel wasps are flying and usually invisible.
Horses
The
are
horse is
invisible
definitely going to do a
too.
better job.
You're killing
Sure.
me, Smalls.
All right,
Look, I had to
open
lay the
rules.
rational idea down
No,
first.
you're right. You're right.
We can go do the crazy shit now. Have at it.
Well, you see,
Let's
one-
crack open demon summoning. Sorry, go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna say, one is undetectable flying entity. The other one is a horse.
No, the other one is a wasp.
Ah. Sorry, I mixed up the two.
This is actually, I am still talking about Jewel, Stalwart Daughter, though, not the Jewel Wasp.
Oh no, I know. It doesn't matter what you're talking about and which way. It's still funny.
Now, this gets really bad is if I fail to bind this demon.
Yeah.
They're not that powerful, though. You'll be able to handle it. It's fine.
Okay, so let me just.
You're
Alright.
probably doing this like on the boat or on the other side of the river or otherwise not within.
Not in the monastery.
Not in
Not in the
sensory range of an
monastery.
already agitated Azar.
Yeah, free advice.
I,
Don't
I have placed myself outside the walls.
out of sight. Free advice.
All right.
And when you
I'm
think
just gonna
about
say,
it,
I'll
actually,
stay inside the walls, just so if they look around, they'll have one of us to talk to and not be worried, like, where'd the rest of them go? Nah, they're on a walk. They'll be back
a
later.
demon can go rogue. A horse can't.
All right. 2 willpower and a ritual.
Alright, so Demon of the First Circle needs to be bound with an intelligence occult roll against their resolve. So roll me intelligence occult.
All right. Let me see. I need to remember, do I have the occult excellency? Yes, I do.
I'm going to go ahead and also roll Sorcery Occult here, which is just going to be me judging Milan's form.
Alright, go ahead.
I briefly thought of humoring this by also
three.
rolling
Huh.
occult.
Okay, so you get to re-roll 4 dice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
11
that's 11 successes. That's
Seems
pretty
like a
good.
pretty successful fucking binding. Yeah.
Yeah, that's 8 threshold successes over this Gata. Or hang on, that's where's their stat block?
Some of the wasp is bored immediately. Then it looks inspired at Stalwart Daughter and goes, "Oh, well, all right."
Yeah, that's
I'm
8
looking at
threshold
its
successes.
stats,
This
which,
is yeah, this
which
is
number
going to be this is going to be the most well-behaved demon as far as its logic can go.
it is sitting there buzzing pleasantly.
So yeah, as it is
Earn a buck.
as the ritual is going, as the circle is drawn, and Milan goes through the plates and somewhat of the images on loan from Koi, looking through them, deciding on this one. It is one of the most beautiful things you've ever seen. It is something between a wasp and a dragonfly made out of crystal that shines in a rainbow of light. Even in the middle of the night, any light that refracts through it is just iridescent and chromed.
Aw,
It is.
cute.
Its wings are a
That is
constant-
what Milan says out loud.
Its wings are at as a constant beat like flowing water, and it has a very soft, just kind of ethereal glow to it. As it just sits in the circle and just kind of looks at you curiously as to why it has been brought here.
Note from the stat block for it in prior versions: unless it is attacking you or someone you care about, you must fail a compassion roll in order to cause it physical harm. It's too pretty.
Mhm.
From editions where that existed.
This one, it is you have to pay willpower unless you have an intimacy that justifies cruelty.
All
Or
right.
a desperate reason to fight it.
What does old man think of my form?
He is impressed at your form to begin with. He is mildly disappointed that you are resorting to using dragon-blooded techniques to bolster it, rather than just doing it off of pure natural talent.
Understandable.
He is still he still thinks you did a good job, though. Like
That is
you
his
get
natural
most
talent,
of a
though,
thumbs
old
up.
man. His nature exceeds yours. This doesn't need to be
That's not how
said,
it
but
works,
Repose is
actually.
thinking this.
Mm-hmm.
Repose doesn't say it, but he's
Okay.
definitely thinking that.
Old
and
man. Old
So
man. Yeah, it's pretty good, but you did cheat.
Basically,
You
Not
cheated
wrong.
by having arms.
you cheated by being born with 16 extra arms. Yes.
okay, so the task I'm giving it is going to be bound to this wonderful horse, and you are going to take this wonderful horse down to the Gonzoda Redoubt, which I'm going to show on a map, give directions, but I don't have a sense of direction. But with a map, I could probably show where it needs to go.
If you are working off a reference, you can describe directions.
It's also
Mm-hmm.
on the big rivers. It's not difficult to navigate to.
When you get down there, let the horse do a little walking around and exploring. If anything tries to hurt the horse, please bring the horse back to where you are right now, at this spot next to the river.
There is a kind of pause as it is visibly processing this, before kind of an excited buzzing back and forth, as it kind of babbles to itself in a language that you... Do you speak Old Realm? I forget.
I do not.
That you don't understand a word it's saying. If Repose is overhearing it, it is mostly still just kind of babbling a stream of consciousness set of thoughts about this, but sounds excited about it before accepting the terms and
And the horse will
just
let you know when it wants to come back here.
and it just kind of buzzes over to Stalwart Daughter, who just kind of gives a sidelong look to Melinda. Are you sure about this?
I give her a smile and a thumbs up.
Before she can really do much more than exhale out of her nose with a kind of sputter, the wasp's
Yes.
limbs very gently wrap around the torso of the horse and lift her up with an unsettling amount of give and squish and kind of wiggling and the legs as they dangle free as the wasp is adjusting and did not expect the horse to be being carried like this and having the weight that she does. But once the Agata is able to account for this, just flies straight up and then starts heading off at... It doesn't say how fast these go.
The wasp is also the size of a horse. People use these as
It is
wizard
bigger
horses.
than a horse, actually. It can carry
So-
2 people easily.
I like to present an idea, and the rest of the party can shoot me down on this.
Go ahead.
As the wasp is lifting up and it's taking Stalwart Daughter away, one of her saddlebags pops open and Moat's head peeks out.
No, you do not.
Okay,
Okay, nah, okay.
that
Retain
That-
mode.
that was the idea of. Oh, we also send Moat along, but that is your familiar. It is your. I cannot tell you what to do with it.
Speed bonus of Agata is +3, faster than a horse. So yeah, this is actually probably just going at like 20 or 30 miles an hour, at minimum, if not faster. And yeah, normal horse in this situation would have its heart explode on the spot. Stalwart Daughter is just very kind of like, oh, this is fucking weird, just visibly as it just kind of flies off.
I'm acclimatizing her to when I buy the signature charm that lets her do this naturally.
And yeah, as the Agata actually shimmers and reactivates its invisibility, now it just kind of looks like Stalwart Daughter is just kind of...
Whoa, flying horse.
It's basically just Gmod physics doll throw hurling herself through the sky.
As Yang sees that receipt off in a distance, he mutters, "Yeah, this is an optimal solution," to himself.
Are you sure you didn't want me to also summon an elemental to assist?
No.
Good. I wasn't going to regardless.
Do you go to any parties ever?
I used to.
Really?
Ah,
Did you
yes.
die in one of
Actually,
them?
during my times as a wandering scholar, I was actually the life of many parties.
Was it because you were the booze source?
No. I only consumed, really. Rarely ever contributed.
That's rude, but I mean, that's you.
I was
So
only there in any given place for no more than a month.
why am I talking to you?
All right. I trust Stalwart Daughter to do her mission well. She's a good horse.
All right. So with that out of the way, there's the other sets of the plan. So going on.
So, checklist of things to do. Maybe warn Grey Falls about, give Grey Falls the big news, let them react to how they will.
Yeah, I'm still gonna let Great Falls know.
Stop off at Jade Orchid, trade in, and check up on things there before proceeding. All right, we wanted to do a quick flyby of Clay Bottom, see if the North folk have made their attempt to migrate over yet.
If they are there, I can chat with them.
Okay. Let's just switch over to the map. And it
It
has
do be like
been...
that.
We could probably do two groups for this. One group could go back to Grey Falls and talk with the magistrate in
Yeah.
person.
That
So,
could work if you want to.
A group of Milan and anyone else who feels presentable in the city. At least one additional person, because Milan needs a co-pilot.
Milan will end up in the Jade Orchid Prefecture without anyone else.
Can anyone else speak to the Northmen?
Obsidian would be wanting to check in on the Northmen.
Angler is the only one who speaks the language, aside from anybody else who would have picked up River Speak.
Is it river or air?
Their native language is air.
Okay,
Some of them spoke a little River Speak.
Yeah, but
I mean,
Angler does speak air, so he would be able to speak with them.
also, wait, yeah, Obsidian speaks River, doesn't he? No, what is Obsidian?
River is
We all
the
speak
default
River
language
Speak.
that we all
Yeah.
have.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
It is-
Angler is
it
the
is-
only person who speaks the native language that they use. So Angler should probably go see them if you're checking on them. Which means one of the rest of you is going to have to go with Milan.
River
How many
Speak is both the dominant language of the area that we generally play in here, and also the go-to trade language. So
It's a lingua franca.
What if Old Man went with Milan because it's funnier that way?
Then
Nope.
the rest of us don't have aircraft, then have to walk.
yeah,
Old man, how many people can fly on your cloud?
4 additional folks.
Okay.
What if Yang went with Milan because it's funnier
Yeah,
that way?
I think Yang is the natural person to send into town, because Yang can just kind of sneak about and get up to mischief until it is time to leave.
Sure.
You
Or
also get to
just stand there
harass
and be
with
presentable.
horse.
Because he
That's
does have
impossible.
you have your disguise. You can be high society. A little bit,
I-
if you want.
If I must.
It is
The
looking
family you pretend to be part of runs that city.
I'm fine, but I can't use broken ass anymore. That one's probably compromised.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you here, but you are very technically high society. You are high society. This is part of your being.
You live in a society.
Yeah, and every time I remember about it, I hate it. Anyways, where's my doilies?
Yang,
Oh,
I
getting the
would
doilies
ask,
out. All right, you're getting serious. I'm into this.
Yang, I would ask that while you're down there, when Milan meets with the magistrate, you should probably be there.
To kill him?
No, her and no.
Maybe.
It's a lot of sensitive information, and I haven't been there in person, but from what the information Milan dropped, I don't know if she necessarily has the highest opinion of all of us. So having a second member there of a person from the area might add a little bit more credence to what is being said.
I know I don't have the highest opinion of us.
I'm going in my Yaki Man costume.
That's fine.
The local hero.
Well, onwards then, I suppose.
Yep.
And then we did.
All right, so which scene would you all want to do first? Great Falls scene or checking in with the North? Or do either of you have a preference? Is my point.
I'm gonna flip a coin.
What does the coin say?
Coin says Grey Falls.
All right, going to
All right.
Great Falls. So switch map. Great Falls.
It's weird that your coin says that.
It had a bird.
So, the two of you are able to make it back to Grey Falls in about a day-ish on the flight, maybe a little less. And back in, land, go through the plaza, and would you just go straight to the Satrapy, or would there be any other business before that?
I can't think of anything.
Milan would probably write down some details of, okay, here's a letter containing the information, just in case you need to reread it.
Okay. So, just going straight through the city over to the Satrapy. Then, the two of you show up. At this point, you're both... Well,
You could go ahead and try to flex that written influence if you have good linguistics dice to throw.
Yes.
I do.
Yes, you do.
Take that idea of a letter and make it persuasive.
What attribute... Okay, what I want to do is provide enough information to get them enticed to go to Gonzoda, but withhold the information we don't want them to know about. Mostly the existence of Dumoid.
Give me manipulation linguistics with a 1 dice die.
Two successes.
Okay. It's reasonable. It's nothing too fancy. It's kind of a spur of the moment kind of a letter.
Anyone really dig into it could digging into
They
it.
could probably tell that you are either not telling the whole story or this is very deliberately crafted to look good.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it passes casual muster.
All right, Yang.
Yeah.
First thing you need to know is she loves to hear the sound of her voice. Just try not to push her buttons. She holds way more power than...
Why did you bring me then?
Because it's funnier this way.
Because if something goes wrong, I need someone I can trust to watch my back.
Yeah, fine. All right, let's get this over with. We just gotta, kiss her feet a few times and leave?
Metaphorically, yeah.
I don't know, metaphorically.
So at this point, as Milan is going through Garrison Heights, the military section up towards the Four Winds Throne, you get a couple of looks of just kind of like, Milan is recognized at this point. Yang is, they kind of remember Yang, the salesman of medicine, and it's like, oh,
Well, I'm Yakuman right now.
are you sure? Like, this is...
Yakuman
It's always
did
the best question to hear your DM say. Are you sure? Are you sure about that?
Yakuman did punch Noble in the nuts.
However,
and
Yakuman's also popular amongst high society as a piece of art.
That
also,
that play
Is
hasn't come
the
out yet.
play
There's
out
no
yet?
way.
It has been a month.
There's no way it's gotten to here yet.
it has not gotten here yet. And also, the conceit of you coming here was being in disguise as House Sinus, not as the superhero.
Fine.
So, Yeah, basically they just kind of look at Yang and just kind of go, yeah, okay, whatever. You are getting less attention in a negative way than if you were as Yakuman.
Just pretend that I love cocaine and slavery. Just pretend.
One of those is kind of true. The approach is made simple when you get up to the doorway of the Four Winds Throne, and at this point, rather than asking if Milan has any official business or if Milan's been summoned, they just take one look and just go, alright, open the door, wave you in. At this point,
Wave me in. Go get the satrap's headache medicine.
yeah, they just kind of send a runner in to give advance notice. Just kind of let you in, ask no questions, and Yang is surprised and grateful that there is no examination of any, no weapons checks, no nothing. Clearly, Milan is a known face at this point. So, going through, again, the sheer, almost knee-quaking opulence slash power of the magical materials that make up the building weighs over your head as you walk through it into the throne room. And the satrap is in her, satrapal throne. She's wearing a actually rather subdued, earthen colored, kind of reddish brown toned dress for presumably the Earth seasons winding down. And nods her head to Milan and gives a kind of professional look of I know your existence and I acknowledge you towards Yang as, again, on paper, your family. She hasn't seen you much, but your family.
My body language will get receipt of acknowledgement about shitty bullshit genetic connections.
Yeah, basically, and honestly, even if you're not doing much to hide it, it's just like, she doesn't really seem to care.
No,
Like,
that's Yang internally. Externally, he's doing all the motions because it matters.
yeah. So she looks over to Milan. Welcome back. I'd heard that your ship had docked recently, but hadn't heard too much from the homeland. How was your trip back?
Oh, mostly uneventful. Matter of piracy here and there, but we did not see any of it.
Of course, sailing down.
It's a lie.
Very much so.
I know it's a lie. She's not bothering to check it because she doesn't care. She just kind of goes, of course, sailing down the Yanaze always has some sort of river piracy or another on the horizon, if not on your own boat. I'm glad to see you back in one piece. Now, can I help you today? Clearly, you have some business that brings you before me.
I do. I have very much need of your magnificent assistance.
Please, the flattery will get you some places, but if you're here on business, let's get to the business.
It is the matter of the Gonzoda Redoubt. I have received very reliable source that the cursed bindings which hold it have been broken.
Her face kind of goes from a casual to an immediate just hardening full business mode, leaning in.
While, as you might expect, any dragon-blooded worth their prestige would jump at the chance to liberate what artifacts of power in the name of the Empire they could. Unfortunately, there is a matter of anathema I must see to. And
Her eyebrows raised again.
It's becoming an ongoing occurrence for me.
She just kind of shakes her head. What source of yours would know so quickly of the bindings breaking upon Gonzoda? And what anathema problem would be so abrupt as to divert you from such actionable information?
All right.
Going to be rolling influence against you on this one, actually.
Okie dokie.
And I want you to know she is my favorite character.
That is, do not have enough guile to give her an answer that is fake. You do not have to give her the absolute truth. You can spend a willpower to disseminate a bit, but you've got to give a fairly direct response because she can smell bullshit.
Okay, so she is going to get. I'm dealing with that specific lunar in that region up. She's going to get bismuth maw by identifiable
Teeth.
information.
And what is so pressing about
rumors
this
about
recluse
teeth.
to the north that is diverting you from possibly the most important thing to happen in this region of the 100 Kingdoms in the past 100 years?
Their partner that every silver anathema has.
I see. As for your source?
That's going to take the willpower. And I don't know how to say this, but it's going to get across of... Because, all right, this came from Skin. And I'm going to give some, not quite wishy-washy, but indirect answer that comes across as, well, I don't like this person, but unfortunately I have to trust them.
Extremely a situation of I don't want to tell you who, because I hate them, and I'm going to work on it later, but they have no reason to lie to me situation.
Suggestion.
Uh-huh.
You are a sorcerer.
That is true. You could blame demons.
You could honestly report the half-truth of that, you acquired this by ways of summonings, that other people fucked up and got their summoned beast to betray them. That's the part you can leave out, but...
Yeah, that is
summoning was
true.
involved in acquiring intel from spiritual
Illicit
sources.
summoning was involved.
Yep, illicit summoning was involved, and now I'm going to give this third party fucked up and broke their binding, and as a way to get back at them, this demon gave me this knowledge.
And you can absolutely trust that this demon is giving you accurate information.
I scrutinized this information as hard as I could. Yes.
So you can vouch for it, but you cannot guarantee it.
I saw when I left to visit the homeland, I had stopped by the Ginzo to Redoubt, and I saw the beginnings of something happening there. There was attempts at breaking in. That I can verify with my own eyes.
What kind?
Puppetry being forced to walk into there against its will.
Did this source say anything about how and why the binding broke, or what might be there?
Well, given the previous owners of it, I could hazard a guess anything from...
Yes, so could I. But I'm asking what you heard.
What was told to us? Were we directly told?
You were directly told that Tyrant broke in to loot the place.
But as to what they took?
The only specific thing mentioned would have been War Strider, or War Striders.
What do I roll to see if I slip and say War Striders?
Roll me integrity manipulation.
Oh boy.
I love whenever Milan has to do things.
Every time you go to the satrap, this is going to be a great idea. Every time you were in a conversation with the satrap, I've made a mistake.
All right, let's trust Milan with the social task. All right, I'm here. I'm going to volunteer all of the knives that you can drive into my back.
Yep.
I have pre-installed various hooks throughout my body, which you may twist as you see fit.
Yep.
I mean, this is why I wanted Yang to go along to cause a distraction.
Well, it's not a
Actually,
failure.
okay, so I may volunteer. Yang, your instincts for that she is searching for something to twist a knife in are immediately firing, and you need to step in before Milan says something stupid right now.
Okay. Sorry, I forgot I was
It's good.
muted.
Good.
So I live here, right?
Yes. Well, your cover lived here for a while.
Well, yeah, but like I probably know local things.
Yes.
Do I have any dirt on her? Just like remember the time you shat your pants at a party by accident?
Hang on. Okay, let me look at your sheet and see if you would have justification for that. Which lore, including its Celsi Vendetta specialty?
Wits war.
Which lore? Lore.
Okay, that wasn't shit. Oh God. Deepest lore. This is a 9, actually. Shit. I'm gonna give you a willpower for a 5.
She's
That'd be a willpower for a 6.
yeah. Well, that would be willpower for a 6. So give me a second while I think about this. There is not concrete, but very, very close information, like very heavily possible information that one of her children is illegitimate out of her marriage with one of her consorts. Which, having a consort, that's fine. Having a child outside of your house's usual chain of descending stuff, problem. And it has mostly been very hushed up, aside from the occasional whisper at a fancy party.
I'm gonna take the loudest, nastiest slurp of tea I can.
Nasty.
Well, here's what.
You know what this reminds me of?
She raises
I
her
look
eyebrow.
directly at her fucking eyes. Having a child out of wedlock.
Well, Lauren's just sort of frozen tense of what?
Yeah, that happens sometimes, you know? Craziest thing. Just some people have a child and then they're not married. And I don't know, some people, you're the only one like that, ma'am?
I'm actively questioning whether I want to even have you roll this or just have this work. And I'm siding on just having this work. Because this is not a roll, this is just throwing a brick.
You want subtlety? Well, I'm gonna throw a brick through your fucking window.
She just kind of stares almost uncomprehendingly at... This is a woman who has spent decades, maybe a century or so of her life, dealing with veils and knives and carefully choosing every word and just the whispers in the right ear to destroy your reputation long
And
term.
then here's
And
Yang.
then someone just walked up and smacked her. And she's just not even sure how to process that.
Not really,
For a
you know,
few seconds.
sometimes people will decide to make that a thing and then they try to blackmail people with it. I don't get it, you know?
I get it. I'll drop it.
So if it's turns out my information's wrong, I'm sure just a small contingent, a scouting party or something can verify whether what I've heard is wrong. I'm sorry to bother you. I'll get out of your hair. Good day to you.
Get out of my
house.
Out of my sight. Consider this forgotten. We will deal with it. Do not get involved.
Oh, okay. Well, that's nice of you.
Milan is out the door.
Oh, back on our agenda.
Bastards.
Look at him go.
The gate guards kind of look by at each other as Milan is literally just kind of almost to a sprint running out.
You
Wow.
leave city very fast now.
Yang is just kind of sauntering out with a smile.
When we get
He just tweeted it out.
when we get back down to Garrison Heights and regroup, Milan is going to be hugging Yang.
You're right. That was worth it. That was really funny. Okay.
Once again, as we'll back up my initial reaction, we should send Yang with him because
Yes.
it'll be funnier that way.
Yes.
I want you to know that I was about 80% of the way of falling out of my chair at that Rum Rusher. Thank you.
To revisit the remarks from last time, they keep doing this. It keeps working.
Yes.
Yes.
Throw hands up in the air.
You have a plan that's worked for your entire career. Well, what if a goose was here?
I
Peace
did
was
send a
never
message.
an option.
I did send a message to Bradway a few minutes ago saying, so I definitely suggested we split up so this exact situation could happen. This succeeded beyond my wildest expectations.
Who is the best at?
And in case
Sorry, I just saw the Rum Rusher art.
Like, yeah, for the record, I don't, unless this is extremely necessary. It really does work when you just fucking say it and they don't expect it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's
So-
a shot you can never use again, though. It's a
Playing a
one-off.
It
different
is a
game, the
weapon
game
you
is
can use
called-
once, but it will always work if you do it right.
It's the gun you use when you need people to stop being assholes and go fix a problem.
Does this mean I have to talk to her from now on?
She might tolerate Milan. She'll probably kill Yang if he ever comes back.
She hasn't
Now I have
met
an
proposed
excuse-
yet.
Now I have an excuse to never come
Hey,
there again.
Obsidian gets to ask the dumbest questions.
That's a social derringer. Yeah, that's what that is, pretty much.
And for the record, if anyone's asking, Milan has Manipulation 1. I will never buy Manipulation 2.
Good.
High five. Same hat.
Yes, excuse me, miss. If you have a moment, do you know how to disarm a grenade? I seem to have found this one, but it hasn't got the thing in it.
Usually I have a pin in them, right?
Just kind of wiggling the press handle,
Yeah, just like
pumping it.
wobbling the strike lever like a fucking. Like a-
See,
like
I
a
I
keep
seem
switch.
quite
pressing the
light
button,
though.
it
I
doesn't
think
do
I could just
anything.
like give it a bit of a flick and have it out the window into the.
I think that, like motorcycles work. You let go and you put it back in, right? And then it goes
Those
forward.
hand grip strength vice bars, so you just kind of keep pumping it, right? Oh, Christ.
Mission accomplished.
Mission concluded.
Event occurred.
They know that it's okay for them to check it out. That's
Problem
really all they needed to
solved.
know.
And
We'll
they
probably get there
also-
before they do anyway.
They also got the information of Bismuth Maw and possibly Solar or something else.
Mm-hmm. Oh, fuck.
Anyway, the whole operation.
Tony Lazuda.
Tony
when-
Lazuda.
When he carries word back to the rest of the team, mission accomplished.
Okay, meanwhile, over by the former ruins of Bismuth's first in this region settlement, the flyby pretty quickly establishes you can see a plume of smoke out of a couple areas. There's some tents that have been set up, some initial starting at either tearing down unsalvageable building frames or rebuilding up out of foundations that are still worth using. Yeah, it looks like there is a small settlement with people here. Probably not any more than 100 yet, maybe a little more than that. Seems like it's just the first people who set. It's like the first people who would strike out to set the place up.
Status of cube.
Cube is still in its place and untouched.
Good.
Listen, I'm just saying, I was born rich. I am aware of taking advantage of your inborn advantages is basically cheating.
Milan isn't here, but would absolutely agree with this.
This is actually literally just old man bringing this up at some point without any
Apropos of
context.
nothing.
Yeah.
And
As you are
refusing to exercise the full extent of your innate talents is lazy.
He's got you there, old man.
What's wrong with being lazy sometimes?
He's got you there.
This has been happening back and forth. Just each time one of them makes a point, Obsidian's like, that is a point.
Yeah, you know.
You gotta hand it to him. You gotta hand it to him. You gotta hand it to him.
Good answer. Anyway, let's drop into town.
So yeah, just dropping out on the side of town, walking in. It is, again, mostly the migrants from the north that you can see. Mostly the young men and women that were sent out down to Clay Bottom, and the another subset who are probably either more just thought this sounded like a cool idea, or were just more like, nah, I prefer to stay with the people I know, thank you very much. So the reception you get on first walking up is, who the fuck is... Oh, right, okay. Just kind of an instant moment of nervous tension before realizing who you are and kind of settling back, but kind of a very still wary look over the shoulder of, why are you here?
Propose very firmly establishes himself near Cube and just kind of like is giving a bit of a conspicuous tapping on the ground of the staff of like a dispense spiritual leader to meet with traveling monk who is in your presence.
Remind me what the cube is.
It was the behemoth corpse that we found.
Right.
Something got shaped thoroughly
Perfect
into
cube.
a shape. Flawless metallic cube.
So the one of the younger women kind of probably like not would probably not be really considered spiritual authority unless in a situation like this where there's literally no one else with any sort of formal training. Like an initiate comes up and gives you a nod and just kind of turns one of the rings on her fingers that has a small inset that you're pretty sure is where one of the reliquaries is.
He
And nods to you.
separately greets this lady and the remnant that she's wearing. And he doesn't need any particular dialogue for this. He's just going to proceed to make sure that they've been briefed on the significance of this. That in particular, the short version, that this is a trophy from a battle between one of Luna's chosen and invaders from beyond.
There's a kind of circle
It's a
underscore
mark
skirt.
of victory.
There's a kind of circle underscore circle stare emote face on her face as she's absorbing that information, but just kind of nods along with it.
Cube, good luck. Not bad. Cube is in stone, and you are not dead today.
Yeah, so Angler,
Yes.
did you have anything in particular you wanted to catch up with these people about?
You said most of their ring was not here, their village circle, correct? That's still back with
Yeah,
the
like
main...
the village elders and all of that. Primarily, like the arrangement was that most of the ring of elders is back with where they originally settled, and it was the younger people who wanted more space and generally just the usual thing that happens with.
We
You
have
know,
convinced them
nomads.
to split the clan.
They've split the clan, and mostly the young people with a couple of the elders went to Clay Bottom. And of that, there was a secondary split of the people who didn't want anything to do with the locals, who just went out over here to make their own place.
Okay. He would definitely speak in air dialect with them, because it's always nice to talk in someone's home tongue, and just ask them if they have any serious problems and if there's anything that he can use as like being a go-between between them and a village to kind of, make big problems, and small problems nothing.
So far, they seem to not really have too much problem. The ruin has been left untouched for so long that there is plenty of salvageable building material. And around that, again, like, the wild taint of the area is almost entirely gone, so almost all of the natural foliage in scrubland is you have plenty of material, you have plenty of grazing land, you have plenty of sustainable area. The only real thing that they're kind of concerned about is the well here hasn't really had a good touchdown into the aquifer, and they just would want somebody to make sure that the actual well water is good.
You have asked the right person. Hold on a second. And he would pretty much just jump directly into the well.
There's a brief moment of bewilderment before, like, right, okay, hang on, some Prince of the Earth. So as you drop down, you immediately notice two problems. One is that this used to pierce into the aquifer before the aquifer receded, due to just the natural cycle of the elements, so now it is barely actually touching any of the aquifer that can refill the water. And the second is that because of that, and because of the water here not being drawn on or cycled for a while, it is kind of stagnant and a little gross, and there look like there's some mosquito nymphs in here. It's probably not a good thing.
Using, I need to find the charm, whatever the term is that allows me to feel the stone to like get a pulse of how it is. Can I see how close the aquifer they'd have to dig in order to get access to it is?
Probably another 10 or 15 feet down. So,
Okay.
doable, but would be a project.
Okay. I'm gonna yell up to Repose. Hey, Repose, can you jump down here for a moment? Well, climb down.
Yeah, Propose just
sure-
kind of perfect climbing attitude, zoops down. Just kind of like Mega Man X slides down one of the inner surfaces, somehow having his feet against it is keeping him firmly braced.
You were about to say something, Doc?
No, I was gonna say that Repose could probably also just jump down if he wanted to.
Yeah.
He's tough.
Maybe. But yeah, just slide down, come to a halt. Love you.
As you get close to the water, Angler would actually just start using his aura or whatever, start slowly pushing it away so that it's like on the sides and allowing Repose to get like proper footing on the bottom and say, it's about 10 feet down to the aquifer. Could you dig a little, please?
Like, you could dig a little shallower and still hit it, but like 10 feet would give them pretty much this well will run for as long as there is water in the aquifer. Levels of depth.
I could punch it, but I might break the rock around and cause more problems than they already have. But your hands are much more refined at this than mine are.
All right. Going over and looking at the old crafty charms again.
If you don't have a directly relevant one, I would rule that the one that lets you make handholds in the rock could just let you scoop it out with your hands, but it would take a while.
Oh, it is definitely within the bounds of stone carving fingers to be digging a hole.
And
The
while
main thing
Repose
would
is
be
doing that,
if you would rule that this is either a demolition or a repair of an existing structure.
I would rule it's kind of both, so yeah.
Then yeah, I
You
can
are-
make use of the old flaw finding examination. Which is perception craft before doing a thing.
and then while Repose is
Yeah,
doing
this
this, I'd yell up to Obsidian to get
This
the
is
largest bucket
architecture.
he can find, just so that he can start hauling away the excess rock material.
Can do.
You're
So,
able to
this
kind of
is-
just get across enough with river speak and also, general body language and descriptions of large bucket, and you're able to get one pretty big, like the biggest one that would fit down the well's mouth.
The biggest bucket you've ever seen.
Okay, so that's 5 successes on
Okay,
the flaw.
so that is 5 successes on flaw finding, so this is going to go a further 5 times faster than normal on top of the 4 normally. So 9x normal working speed.
Okay.
And furthermore, stones from rubble restoration, essence over 2 non-charm dice on repair rolls. So the actual roll to do the thing. Dex and craft and architecture giving a success instead of a die. And throw a full excellence into there. As Repose just kind of... You started to raise the idea of him doing this. He, like, increasing energy and excited vibrations out of him as Shovel is slowly and shakingly taken out of place where it was stored. And just very bright, manic eyes, and you get a sense that you should be moving out of the danger zone.
You should get out of the way.
Angler's
You climb
moving up
now.
like 10 feet up the well, and he's using the mantle of the violent wave to just pull the water away so that Repose can just get to it that much faster.
And then there is just a cloud of dust erupting up as he begins to...
It's like the jackhammer noises in Looney Tunes.
Mhm.
So, after doing some envelope math, because there's a lot of actually really helpful rules of thumb online for doing your own excavations and yard work projects. Normally this would probably take you about 12 hours, so with a 9 times faster, that is maybe 2 hours-ish, envelope math.
You pull the water up out of the well, and a lot of mud and gravel and other debris goes with it as just...
Like, Repose is actively moving fast enough that you are not really seeing the shovel go in and out so much as you are seeing a blur of dust and a slowly increasing divot.
So if you've ever seen like a recording of a bubbler crab building its burrow, that but with entire like large chunks of dimensioned stone that Repose is just bringing up and putting into place around the well, just rebuilding and resurfacing the entire up at the top structure while also going deeper into the bedrock.
God, helping build retaining wall until you get to the aquifer layer, at which point you keep digging and then pull out the excess waste material in perfectly carved chunks to use for the rest of the building around the village.
They're all cubes. Somehow, it's all coming out as cubes.
Cubes are important. You're Cube Town now. You have a theme. Use cubes.
Every so often, when Repose needs to find a proper foothold to get, even better at digging, there's just a solid wall of water there for the pushing. You don't understand how it works? Don't worry about it. It's just every so often, anglers just using the wave, and it's just like, oh, he's moving a lot faster than I thought he would. This hurts a lot.
Yeah, it is taking you an actually surprising amount of strain to haul out the flow rate of the aquifer out of the way as more and more of it is getting exposed. You ever have that experience in Dwarf Fortress where you pierce the aquifer and you realize that you didn't set it up right and now you have a real problem on your hands to manage the water? It feels like that, but less deadly because it's the two of you involved.
It is probably the point where Angler starts to like show concern at managing the water flow that Repose finally breaks out of the tunneling trance and is just like, okay, we're done.
That's good.
Instant that happens, I grab him by the collar and use Dragon Surmounts the Waterfall and just go straight up.
And all the water just slams down as like several feet of water have already seeped out of the rock at this point, and you can see the walls that it has been pierced into have just a constant dribbling waterfall flow out of them into the well to refill it.
Okay, let's never do that again. At least that fast. Oh, okay.
All right, so that sure sounds like a high-quality major project.
High quality major project, yep.
That did the things.
Yeah, that did all three of the things, basically.
Any other problems you have nearby?
They're all just kind of looking at you like Repose is utterly caked in mud, and just the shovel is near, like, the shovel had already been, decent quality, and after going through like 10 feet of stone in about 2 hours, is like almost broken and chipped and dented, but still was working fine.
Repose is just resharpening it on his hand.
Yeah.
While standing there.
Angler just covered in both water and some mud and a lot of sweat, and they're just all just kind of looking at you like, no, we're good. That's more than we could ask for.
Would lean into Angler and be like, did you inquire with them how they're getting along with the locals? As that was one of the key problems.
I did ask in their tongue, and they said they didn't have any serious issues. Most of it was just trying to find proper water so that they didn't have to go elsewhere to get it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll ask again here in a few minutes just to see if now that immediate concerns are taken care of, they're going to think, well, I mean, there's that one guy that's an ass or something like that. So we'll see.
After people are starting to like draw a little bit out of the well to give it a test and see if it's potable and all that sort of thing, filter it a little bit. You're asked around again, and again, it sounds like the dynamic was when the clan split and went into Clay Bottom, there was just an immediate split between the people who were okay with assimilation and the people who just kind of preferred going out and doing their own thing on their own terms. And it was not a bad blood situation so much of a, like, hey, if anybody wants to go out and do the thing, that was an offer on the table they gave us. And the people who thought it would be cool to just rebuild a whole place rather than settle down in a new village where you don't know all the customs and everybody else is, of another culture than you, and maybe you are intimidated by that and you want to dip your toes in them more slowly, or maybe you just want to do your own thing and carry on your own culture. It just sounds like it went pretty amicably all.
I do have one last thing, and this is just more of a, I don't know the setting 100%. How many of these people would have some sort of script to them of wind or of air style or river speak or whatever?
Script?
Like, can they read?
Some of them would be literate, but not all of them.
That's fine. Since he has a few moments until Milan gets there, Angler's going to set up like a Rosetta Stone sort of thing of common river speak and air speak things, and just start writing as many of them as he can down to give to them, so that they can have a way of communicating with the people back at Mud Village much easier.
Okay. Give me a manipulation linguistics plus 1 die stunt on that.
Okay, I'm going to definitely use my linguistics charm for that one.
Praise book.
So 12. No, it's just 10d. 10d. 10. 7s plus 2. 3 successes. 6. 8 successes.
Yeah, you've basically given them more or less everything they need in terms of basic pigeon back and forth phrasebook stuff that they would need in any situation that they don't have a translator. Any emergency, like a couple of emergency phrases, common trade goods, common requests, basic back and forth introductory stuff. You have them covered. It's not going to be literacy and fluency, but it is going to be, barring complex concepts needing to be communicated, they're probably good.
Where is the bathroom?
Please take me to your medical professionals, etc.
Also, any turns of phrases or idioms
Local
or anything
idioms.
yeah, any of that stuff that he would have heard while he was there. I mean, he's not going to have everything, but just like, oh, this caused me a problem, so I should probably write this down too.
Yeah, that's a very quick, simple thing with that many successes for you to just get down and put down and probably hand over to the young woman who is handling the spiritual affairs.
Do you know where the bathroom is?
I point to the trees. This is the second time you've asked that. Just go.
A different joke, and that's just where my brain went to a second time in a row.
We are outdoors. Just find a spot, man.
Plenty of scrubland out there. Go fertilize it. But yeah, with that, I think that concludes the 2 different scenes that can link back up at this point.
I have an idea for how we do this.
All right, go ahead.
Are we gonna meet back up at the temple?
No, you would probably be linking
We're staying out
on
in the
way.
field. We're going to continue moving.
So, like, probably somewhere, like,
Probably
judging
Clay
by-
Bottom.
you would probably meet at Clay Bottom or somewhere on the flight path up to Bismuth. But Clay Bottom would probably be a better quick meeting point. So
Hey Milan, I have an idea.
Yeah?
Let's go find an open patch of terrain next to Clay Bottom.
Do you mean like just a field, or there is the clay pits?
No, we're gonna need to do a lot of jumping.
All right.
I want to test something, and you're gonna have to trust me on this.
Okay.
I use Arbor Sentinel technique,
oh my god.
and then I upgrade it with what was it called? 1,000 Thorn Artillery.
1,000 Thorn Artillery, yeah. So basically yeah, go on, you go on.
So yeah, I turn into Yakuman. I make my emplaced cover thing. I've used this once before. You've probably seen this. It was in the wild.
Wild, the sudden uprush of brush is a cover for the
Anyways, I kick the chest high cover from Gears of War, and a little bipod comes out, and I put my crossbow on it, and then it grows into this big fucking ballista.
Is it supposed to be getting that big?
Yep.
It's still
Okay.
growing.
important question. What direction is it pointed?
Away from Clay Bottom.
Good answer.
That's why I said patch of grass with wild open, so we can fire exactly away from Clay Bottom. I'm gonna hand you some wooden discs. All right, so I want you to throw these and then shout pull.
Okay. So I just
Ready? Yeah.
All right. Let me get into position, get in the stance.
Give a throw. And I'm not making you roll the give the
Pull.
throw.
Can I even hit this? How the fuck do I fire this thing?
I would
so you
propose that the success is on the throw. That is the difficulty to hit the.
Yeah, let's propose that.
That is the difficulty to hit. You are rolling intelligence or perception plus war, and because you have no war, that is a -1, I believe. For untrained.
So 4.
Yes.
No, I'm going with that miss.
Is there an untrained penalty in Exalted,
I
or is
don't
it?
know if there's an untrained penalty in 3rd edition.
I've been going off the idea that there isn't.
Yeah, I've
roll,
always been just.
roll one extra die. We're rolling an
Alright.
extra.
Nope.
Okay, so how far away would you say this is from Clay Bottom?
We're out of eye shot.
Out of eye shot for sure.
But like how
Probably
close?
like-
a
Probably
mile, less-
over the first hill, so probably a couple miles.
Right around
Right.
here.
All right,
So-
down the road.
that would be that would be like 20 miles. So
The word untrained does not appear in the core book.
okay, so there is this cat there as the rest of the group is just kind of hanging at the gates of Clay Bottom waiting for the other two to arrive. You hear for the let me double check your sheets. Okay. Angler would not have, Old Man would not have, Repose might have, but probably not. Obsidian definitely would. All of you hear a very loud kind of twang noise that is just like, what the hell is that? From over the hill. And Obsidian recognizes that as a ballista going off.
Obsidian, like if Angler or anything is right next to him, would just yell,
no.
"Get down!" and like
I
grab
just
his
fucking-
head and like slam him.
Yes,
into
you
the ground.
did!
I just triggered all the war vets super hard, huh?
Yes, you did!
Oops. I didn't even think about that.
Artillery near a city!
I legitimately didn't even think about the consequences of this.
I kept that!
Yang didn't think about the consequences of his actions. New and exciting.
So do I hit the target?
First place on the bingo.
No, you don't even hit the target! It misses!
I'm afraid you missed.
Well, we got 2
It's
more.
not too far on this in terms of artillery. It was maybe
Where
like
does
five
that
minutes.
let the shot go?
Yeah, where does that land?
Well, considering it's a ballista, it probably flies about 100 or 200 yards before embedding itself in the ground.
We aimed it away from Clay Bottom.
So, luckily, it is really only Obsidian and the people outside of the gates who hear it clearly. Everybody in the city is just more, what the fuck is that noise? Because they haven't really had experience with artillery. Some of the mercenaries immediately look up, just kind of like, what the fuck? But are in a
Did some like
situation where they
extremely weird tree just fall down? The fuck is that?
just that kind of moment of like, okay, gunfire or fireworks kind of expression on some of their faces as they're doing it.
God, don't I know that?
Oh, yeah, America.
So,
Anyways, Yang doesn't know to stop yet, so putting another bolt.
yeah, no, Yang is in the middle of hoisting. Like, again, this is why you have two operators, is you actually need help hoisting the size of the ammunition that is
Wait, hold up a
manifesting in the
minute.
package.
Yep, come on, hurry up.
This thing has
up
grown a
second.
bunch of extra like cranks and levers and handles for
Yep.
Yeah, Milan's gonna help out.
getting it reloaded.
Give me a solid second to get a roll ready.
I mean,
Go ahead.
Angler's just going to use wind carried words in that general direction. Go, what the hell are you two idiots doing?
Do we know that they're
You
over
can-
there?
You can actually sense them on Hearthnet.
Yeah,
That
Hearthnet.
they're in that direction.
We're shooting clay pigeons.
Yeah, practicing.
Wow. Let me just. Oops. Follow that up. Okay, yeah, I got a 2 on trying to figure out where that came from.
Well, considering it is the sound of ballista going off, it's not hard to actually kind of pinpoint where it is coming from.
I did a perception war on that, by the way.
Yeah, you can guess that. You can guess. Okay, it's past that hill, and once I'm on top of that hill, I will see.
You have perception now, Obsidian? Hooray.
I have perception 1. The war excellency gives me bonus die.
Ah.
Okay,
Again,
so
he just heard a ballista go off. He's pretty much just like, all right, we are under attack.
okay, so I just need to. I'll throw this, but I just need to like hold this up and help you fire it.
I think maybe. Oh, actually, I have an idea. Get in. Fuck the bolt. I scissor kick the ball off. Get in.
Wait, what?
Get in.
I say as I have been loaded into it.
All right. Wait. Who says pull in this situation? Whatever. Fire.
Ah!
Don't know where the fuck this one's going.
I'm very impressed that you managed to launch someone through a torsion-powered catapult, basically.
A superhero through a torsion-powered catapult.
Well, Lana's going to make the goofy scream.
I hope mercenaries are looking in this direction and they see a dragon blood sailing through the air.
I want you to know this silences me trying to figure out what to say.
This is superpowered teens doing some really stupid shit because they don't understand.
So has Angler had a chance to express what he has heard in response from Milan?
He would say they're shooting clay pigeons, and that's all
At
they
this
said.
point, you see a silhouette of a human
ballista?
being go into the air above the hill.
And the sound of one of your hearthmates screaming.
Oh my god.
At this point, the people who play bottom are less panicking and more looking up like, what the
Repose will drop off of the cloud, hit the ground running, go into town, come to a very abrupt stop in like the middle of the town square. Just kind of, relax, compose self, raise one finger. Sports. That is the only explanation he will offer, and then he will like go
Give me your
visit the
de-escalation
shrine.
pull with the 3 dice stunt, please.
It's just sports.
It's
What?
dragon sports. I'm sorry. We know they didn't think it through. I'm sorry.
Oh, football.
You know how teens are. But like,
What do I have to roll to attempt to catch Milan?
Yeah, same.
Strength.
what do I roll
athletics.
to be able to be audibly shouting "Yeehaw" while I see my friends?
The strength
You don't have
athletics.
to roll that.
Do I do athletics excellency? Hold up.
I do. I can go catch him. But I don't think we'll get there in time.
Football.
Everyone just sees how utterly non.
You will accompany that with like a point in the general direction of just like go see for yourself if you want. Sports.
So while you point over there, Yang will also have fired himself out of the crossbow and is just fucking yeehawing through the air because if my friend's gonna do it, I'm not going to
Well,
be a cop.
It's an hour
Okay.
of the day. Folks can go
I-
watch a little sports.
I'm air aspect. I don't take fall damage.
Now Yang, on the other hand,
I'm Spider-Man. I'll figure it out.
are you sure?
Either way, I'm making
I'll
this
figure
roll.
it out.
Can you grasping rope find while launching yourself?
Oh. Also, I get to reroll that 10. Or additional die. There you go. That's 7 successes to catch the idiots as they come in.
If my friend's gonna do it, Yang, thanks for getting that day much Milan.
The real answer is he thinks that looks like a hell of a lot of fun.
It is a hell of a lot of fun at the point where you start, like, at the apex of the launch, you start realizing I didn't think this all the way through.
I've been through this situation before, and it's
All right,
now
now I
just
just
as
need-
bad as it
Wait a
used to be.
second, there was a bear involved last time.
I just need the grasping rope vines at the build. Oh, hold on a moment.
Shit.
Wait, I'm in the middle of a flat scrubland. Oh crap. At this point, Obsidian, using the excellency and probably glowing a little bit at this point, is just sprinting, hauling ass up the hill as you sprint past what looks like Yang's crossbow, blown up to the size of an artillery emplacement ballista, aimed as high as it could possibly angle without being straight up, which gives you a lot of time to see Yang just kind of going up in a very high arc. All
Doing
the
a strange
way up.
love hoot.
Oh, I'm honestly not surprised.
At this point, Milan is at a controlled descent.
Milan is floating down controlledly. Yang, on the other hand, is briefly having, at this exact moment, having the moment of, wait, what do I do now? As Obsidian desperately just kind of scoots back and forth, arms outstretched, waiting for the fall, bracing to catch, and manages to just grab Yang out of the air and take the brunt of the collapse onto the ground.
You know that scene in Cowboy Bebop where fucking what's her name? The little kid.
Ed.
Ed, yeah. Ed's dad catches her. That.
Yes.
Just above his head, completely straight Yang.
That was fucking awesome. I almost died.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
buddy.
you did.
Angler's gonna be walking up to this point and just look at Yang. Why didn't you grasping rope bind Milan, who's gently floating to the ground?
Well, then, we can only have that many brain cells, okay? Don't be a fucking cop.
Sorry, it's just next time when you do this, because you will do this again. I know you.
Oh, definitely. That was awesome. Do you
Yeah.
want to go?
I actually do, but maybe in a location. Actually, hold on. Is Repose there yet? Did you tell
Repose
them
is
what
already
Repose
happened?
is very
gesturing people out of the gate
economically
to figure out
spreading
what the heck-
the news,
Just
miscellaneous spiritual news.
extremely people are trying to figure out, okay, you're calm and you're inviting us to go look. This has gone from frightening unknown to possibly cool.
Repose has pointed the gawkers in the direction of, hey, thing happen.
Oh, fuck. So yeah, there's that.
I'm glad how quickly these sessions can just be completely derailed and consistently.
Yeah, I come into them with a plan and then you all have plans and I'm like, okay,
Sports.
your idea's better.
Bold of you to assume that we have plans.
We don't have plans. Some
You
of
have
us
plans. You have plans in the moment. You do.
Oh,
No,
can we
it's
go
on
pick
the
up my,
side.
my gun? I need my gun.
Well, yeah, but okay. Let's keep going north. We have people to talk to.
We have
Uh,
business.
Notes to drop off while we are here. Inform the initiate who I left here about Ladalsha Inn.
Okay.
Sort of a preemptive out-of-person introduction of, yeah, there's another Immaculate now operating in the area, and you show them courtesy and hospitality.
Yeah.
I would also make the same cheat sheet for the people here to talk with the people up at Cube
Copy
area.
the same list.
Yeah. Do you need me to make the second roll, or just
No,
assume that
You are
it's fine?
literally copying something you already made.
Okay, fantastic.
Oh god. God in heaven.
Sports.
And of course, just probe about, hey, have any miscellaneous ill omens struck about this area? Have there been any
No.
weird noises before, the one just now? That was us.
No. Mostly people have been focusing on making sure the new migrants feel welcome, and they're, figuring things out with them.
Good.
All right.
So I'm assuming that because there is a crowd, there is probably a couple more repetitions of Yang, Milan, and Angler probably going through the
Well,
ballista.
now it's a public event. So, yes, people come watch these weird immortal idiots fire themselves out of a crossbow.
Propose we'll bring over some mid-sized wood posts and set up an array of 10 of them and invite
Tracking to
people
see
to
who
launch
goes-
projectiles.
It's bowling.
Bowling.
Oh god.
Can you create a landing pad for them?
We have all these public events. Look at all these fun.
That would take time we don't have, but yeah, next year.
Time we don't
all
have
sorts of
as people are
festivities.
launching themselves out of a ballista and a set of bullet pins.
We
Yeah,
have
no, I think
very
that- I think,
important business to attend to.
Into Scrubland.
Yang is definitely gonna set up a super powered shooting range. Just let people fucking fire a tree and hit the dirt and just see how that works.
Propose
Oh.
adding,
Why are the coyote smack noises on loop in my brain?
Propose is adding more notes to his Codex of Dumb Carnival bullshit to build for next year's festivities.
Ah, damn, he's right. That is a good carnival game.
You could make a fast travel network with sufficiently large barbellists.
Yeah, you know what?
We're really smart.
No.
This
I'm
is
putting
your
my foot down
notification
on
that
this
you
one,
have
okay?
temporarily broken your
But he
storyteller.
is-
Please hold.
We are
He's
not
already-
making the fast travel system from Secret of Mana. I
Give me a
refuse.
reason not to.
I am putting my
Propose
foot
is
down on
already
this.
thinking about building the big, incline stairs / ramps / there would be reasons to put sections of trackway into this.
Yeah.
What if you had some kind of torsion mechanism for rapidly imparting force onto
Oh,
a
like
cart
a-
on a
like a
trackway?
funicular.
Hmm.
What if we invent public transport?
No,
In the dumbest way
Hi, hello.
possible.
I'm the Minister of Transportation.
He's thinking about inventing roller coasters at this point. Hmm.
Public transportation.
roller coaster based transportation. Mr. Bones' Wild Ride.
Mr.
And
Granny's Wild Ride.
I give my stamp of approval on it.
The game gets the reply.
Milan is the safety
Investigate
inspector.
further.
And the only,
Oh
Milan is the safety inspector, and the only thing on it that says "sick as fuck."
no! Oh no!
We are not making the rip line.
No!
Why
not
are we
the
not
rip
making the red line?
line. The rip line?
No, not the red line. The rip line. The
But
machine
so
that
the
kills
red
children.
line.
This is the machine that kills children.
That's every machine.
True.
We have fun here.
Look, it's fine. We'll put a big fan at the end to slow him down.
100 Kingdoms Railroad 1 looks too intense for me. I feel punch drunk.
Can we take like a 2-minute break?
Yeah, no, I need to stop laughing for at least a minute. Holy fuck.
All right, everyone, take a moment, step up, take a quick stretch.
Did you say step right up? No, I'm not getting back on the ballista a second time.
No, I said step up. Get up out of your chair, take a stretch, do self-care if you need.
Step on up.
Oh, boy.
We have fun here.
I've said it before, but I really need to reiterate how fucking grateful and humbled I am to have you all as my players. This is great. The audience is great. Players are great. It's been
DM is
Much
great.
Thank you.
A highlight of the session so far has just been Repose going sports. Just sports.
That is probably the funniest thing I think has happened. Honestly, it's just how that, as if that explains anything, and it ends up explaining everything.
It reminds me of in Dragon Ball when the dragon summoned at the Briefs estate right after the Frieza arc, and someone just goes
yeah.
into town and says, "Don't worry about it, it's at the Brief estates, everybody," and then everyone goes back to normal, like nothing has happened.
Yeah, it's just the
yeah,
briefs again. It's just, oh,
all
yeah.
right, whatever, it's fine.
Stand up,
Oh,
stretch.
Gojira.
Gojira.
I think my favorite part of Dragon Ball is when the dragon just starts getting irritated when it's the same people summoning over and over. It's just like, I am the dragon shitter. Oh, fucking you again.
What do you crazy kids want this time?
Why don't I give you
Which-
the power to melt the ice?
Was it the first movie where they summon it and like just take a really long time doing any like the first of the super movies? They take a really long time making any wish. It just starts being like, I can't keep this form together this long.
I think that is something that happened. It's just basically like, get on with it.
Anyway,
Okay.
the whole
okay.
operation.
I
Are
have
we
pulled
all
myself back
recovered?
together enough again.
I am good.
So, next thing to do, prefecture.
Chugging right along.
Zoom.
Wait, which one's prefecture?
Jade
Jade
Orchid.
Oh,
Propose
Alright.
has a box of cats to dispense.
oh, right, yes. I was like, what business do we have that? Right,
I'm
cats.
really looking forward to this.
Also,
is
the
Angler
person
speaking,
with
like, I
rest
wanna
of
see
his
this.
family here might want to decide whatever amount of alarm to pass along about the things we're up to this week. That's up to him.
It's definitely a we're going to be traveling back and forth kind of thing. So we'll see how that goes. The cats are the first thing. Are they okay from the ride over here?
The cats are. You know that pose there? Cats in a cat carrier at the back of a car aren't completely yowling their head off and they're not trying to rip their way out, but when you look in, they've just kind of frozen and just shut down and they're just kind of waiting for reality to come back. And
They are dug in.
Yeah.
Braced.
They have burrowed into the back of the carrier and are just shut down until further notice. That's what they're looking like right now.
Oh, they're about to start doing that like low pitched keening sound. Yep. Okay.
Yes.
So by my understanding, there's 4 that we have here. 1 for Sharon, 1 for each of the kids, and then 1 for Cascade.
I thought it was 1 for Granite, 1 for
Okay,
Cascade.
if it's also 1 for Granite, then yeah, that brings it to
Then it'd
5.
be 5.
Actually,
5
if we
directional
can go back in
kids.
time like a couple of hours or whatever, Angler also would have asked to grab one, to bring a cat for Burr.
Oh, okay. So that would be 6. So
Yeah,
that would be
if
probably
that's
multiple.
okay
Ever
with
increasing
Repose.
number of cats that have
Yeah.
been placed in this box.
I mean, it's more like if Repose is okay with it. If,
You see, you won't know how many cats are in the box until you
God
look
damn it.
into the box.
An additional one snuck in, uncounted.
Oh, good.
I mean,
wanted
she
to get
is
one
the
to Burr
exit
anyway.
of freedom, so the cat that just sort of decided to go along, that's hers now. That's the cat just kind of feeling it.
Propose just opens to check up on box, and there's the extra one looking up at him like, what?
What are you, a cop? Like, that's the one cat that's not freaking out. It's just, I know what I did. What are you going to do about it?
And you'll just scoop that one up and set him on the floor and let him run off and find where he needs to be.
Yeah, that one will just go to Burr on its own. You have a gut feeling that that cat knows where he's going.
It's
They
fine.
all know
It's
where
a
they
tuxedo
belong.
cat. They know what they're doing.
Mhm.
My work here is done.
So then, meanwhile, you go to the main building of the Jade Orchid Prefecture, and would bring in, just after a brief notification of your arrival to Angla's family and Shireen. Would you give it to them all at the same time, or separately for the family and Shireen?
I would separate
Okay.
I'm okay with either, but yeah, separate's fine.
Shireen from Cascade household distribution, because Repose would hand over the one to Shireen just in person.
Okay, so
There's no need for any thoughts of like surprising kids with a gift on that front. So it's just Repose showing up and being like, "Yep, as requested. Here you go."
Shireen is just kind of full body vibrating with slight hand tremors before very gently taking Kat into arms and petting, as Kat kind of regards Shireen like, kind of gives a glance back over to Repose of just like, okay, so okay, bosses, okay, you are friend, you are clear, and just
Firm
kind of gives
nod.
a head nod.
Oop on nose of blessing.
And Kat begins to just purr, and
I have
as
selected you
Shireen is
as
just
I have selected you as my source of food.
Shireen is just kind of making just a quiet hum of happiness as the cat is purring in return, as the crew heads back off towards Angler's wife, children,
Other business that Repose would leave with Shireen during this visit is to make sure, in case she had not already received by way of news here, just mention nearby sites of spiritual importance. He'd probably have a bunch of others he knows offhand.
Yeah.
But including ones that appeared here, so like, yeah, the Grove to check up on the wound as a place that needs monitoring and tending.
Spike, probably.
And yeah, let her know that the spike that the rust came from, yeah, it's just over there, down the way.
She kind of is nodding through it, but fixated on Cat.
And he will leave for her to later go over, at her own pace, a letter on a more serious subject that should, be addressed when she's appropriately acclimatized to cat having. And can address methodically. So, Repose is going to leave behind a sketch and a briefing about important local folkloric and actually in practice figure of the Yaku Man.
Oh my god.
That he is a known entity, that, convey his reputation of being a mostly opponent of tyranny, a destroyer of slave drivers and punisher of wastrels, protector of those downtrodden.
Good man, not bad.
What the fuck?
Adequate man. And including in his briefing on this subject, that, to his knowledge, there is not yet an active hero cult rallied around his name. And also to his knowledge, the man behind that mask would have no interest in gathering or commanding such an organization. But one priest to another, we both know that never matters. That never prevents anything.
Right.
So Repose is going to put forth the idea that a useful task that Shireen could turn some attention to as a scholar and someone interested in divine operations and as someone who needs to start to establish her own reputation out here. Go looking around for any unlisted or minor spirits who would make good patrons of this character.
You rat fuck.
What, you don't want to run your cult, but your
No, I
cult's going to
don't.
exist regardless, so someone has to run it. You need a business partner, and your brother is going to look out for you.
You smart piece of shit. You scheming rat.
Just tagging that ally connection of, hey, clergy to clergy, let's just get out in front of this problem before I can say I don't know if anything is happening yet, so we know there's probably like a couple dozen people already doing this. There is undetectable level of cult
probably right.
activity, which we know is not the same as zero cult activity.
Yeah.
And just to introduce her to the important thing about priest day-to-day operations out here is, yeah, it would be great to have a fully staffed calendar, but there are always going to be vacancies, and there's a lot of turnaround
There's a lot
in
of
spirits
positions
out
to do.
here on the frontier. There's a lot of vacancies and a lot of people who would love to get in on them.
This is the mortifying ordeal of being known.
I am loving the reaction from Senna on this of just how dare you support me. Give me a manipulation linguistics 3 die stun.
Let me just remind myself what the linguistics excellency does. Successes and 10s reroll non-1 failures. Alright, so there's a bonus success into that, and yeah, there we go. Just this very thorough,
Extremely meticulous, bureaucratic, and just rhetorical approach to. So here's how we're gonna.
here's my essay about the current state of the Yaku man and what good can be done from such a figure. Use him as an example of this. This archetype just exists everywhere. Just explain that, okay, when exalts just kind of happen out of nowhere and they don't have a family or a lineage to draw on, well, they just have to start their own legend. And this is the kind of stuff that follows. They just go do things and become known.
Things just happen.
This is how families start. Every tradition begins somewhere, and new things spring up every day. We're in the life direction. This is wood happening. Welcome to it.
Yeah, no, extremely just kind of bulletproof good argument on that. Just, meanwhile, somewhere behind the Yakuman mask, Aang's ears just kind of burn in the sense of someone is talking about me, but more horrifyingly, someone is talking about me in a good and pleasant and supportive way.
I'm kneeling, I'm squatting on the ground, kneeling and just putting my head in my hands and just wondering why I feel seen. What's happening?
Probably also baked in there is, it is a much greater mark of trust that I am just leaving this to you in writing blindly rather than only discussing it in person.
Yes.
Deniably. Anyway, cat delivered. Family reveal.
So now, family. The family is in one of the main living areas of the of the governmental hall at this point, as Angler and Repose and whoever else will be with them are walking in, just kind of looking up curiously and greeting you. The kids run up for a hug as usual.
What if instead of a hug, we have show box, a mystery box?
The kids just go, ooh, 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 and then just kind of look at you suspiciously, both like, ooh, gift, but also sometimes pranks.
Yeah, I've been there before.
Angler is absolutely the kind of father who would pull harmless pranks like this before giving a real present.
That is 100% correct. And the only reason he's not doing it is because Repose is involved.
But also,
I mean, Repose does have his list of on his list of intimacies the importance of frightening children into learning things. He would not be against educational pranks.
It wouldn't be it'd just be a prank. So no, we're not going to worry about
They're
that.
going
Maybe
to
next
learn
time.
today.
Next time. We're going to learn why you be friendly with Cat. Speaking of Repose, I believe you had something here.
So, boxes set on ground, and I'm going to say that it's two separate boxes: one for the parents and one for the kids. Yeah, what they're going to learn is to never trust authority, which honestly, valuable lesson.
Good.
Trust but verify.
And yeah, the
But-
box is just kind of unlatched, and
There is a slight knock on the inside, kind of the lid bumping a little bit and scooching to the side as the kids kind of look at it. And the sudden light in their eyes as they realize, wait, moving? Inside? Living thing? Wait, what? Hang on, what? And Ursula lifts the lid up as on the inside is a pair of probably like 9 to 10th month like old Maine Coon kittens of the same litter. And
They're fully grown.
Like I don't remember when is the cutoff point. Like they're like late teen is the age I'm going for.
They're long. They have not fully like fluffed out yet, so to speak.
They're long teen, right?
long teen phase cat. So young, but almost there. And the noise that comes out of the twins is
Since the items that were provided for each of them was a ribbon, said ribbons have been tied around the necks of their respective cat. Cats have bows.
Hey Angler, do you have your supernatural senses turned on right now?
Always.
Oh god, oh ow, oh god, you're deaf. Your children have made a noise that can only be described as
Only be heard by dogs.
like it is on the threshold of inaudible to normal human hearing, except for volume. It is squeaking at like supersonic pitch.
He's gonna real quickly just get in eye contact with both of them. Deep breaths. They're kittens. They're a little spooked. It's been a while since they've been on the road for a little bit. But they're for you guys.
They're just kind of very carefully reach out hands to the cats, like in unison, just gently patting them on the head, and the cats kind of lean back, ears back a little bit, and just from the noise and also from the sudden wait, hang on, smell, person, interest, ribbon, right? Yeah, hang on, just kind of bump up against the hand, not full affection yet, but just a recognition of like, oh yeah, okay, this is what the human smell is from. And as the twins begin to pet the cats more, and the cats just kind of look around in curiosity of where in the heck are we? Just very much a different sort of reaction to the cat given to Shireen that was very composed, very much immediately affectionate. Knew what they were doing. These are two, late teen cats just kind of figuring out what is going on, what is happening. This is nice, but what's happening? But the twins both of them are absolutely beside themselves with joy at not only because concept of cats, of pretty cats letting them pet, cats enjoying. As one hops out of the box and the other follows with, and they just immediately go let the cats begin to explore. And they are just making just all sorts of noises and just kind of calling at the cats and just kind of being excitable children around them, especially at the size of like recognizing that this is the shape of small cat, but also large. They are large. Also fluff.
So very much fluff. Oh, that's gonna work. That's gonna work out. It's gonna work out. It'll be fine.
Congratulations on your chieflings.
Thank you, Repose.
They kind of, at that mention of Chief, kind of give a half-ear flick back of just kind of like a recognition of the name, and Repose can almost feel the cat body language of, oh god, is he here? Where is he? Wait, nope, false alarm. Kind of chirping back and forth to each other a little bit before turning around and just kind of starting to look around the room, letting the twins follow after and pet them. Not really stopping them, but also making it clear that, like, yes, hello humans, this is great, this is wonderful. We're also independent beings that are going to figure this out on our own. So the twins are now very thoroughly distracted, while Granite is just kind of barely hiding a smile, while Cascade is just kind of shaking her head with a smile.
Oh, don't think we forgot about you two.
Oh, I know, she says. She's kind of looking at the other box, but then kind of looks back to the other cats. If anything, I'm just happy that the cats that found them are going to be ones that are going to be keeping them busy by the looks of things.
I think you'll get along with your partners just fine. And I have no idea what cat, probably an older cat for Cascade, but I have no idea off the top of my head.
They will grow, and they will learn, and they will be whatever you will make of them.
So second box opens, and a kind of Russian blue looking cat, probably middle age. It's like the indeterminate adult, but not like elderly age. Kind of pops out immediately, just kind of restrained that restrained cat showboating of just like looking unattached but very clearly enjoying being looked at. It's just like, oh yeah, no, oh, I have admirers, hello. And Granted is just looking at that one and recognizes the object from like the ribbon color and just kind of smiles and walks up to the cat, extends a hand slightly. Cat takes exactly a moment longer enough to show that it's not interested before turning to sniff the hand and just like, oh, hello, I suppose you're the person. Yes, okay, yes, you may pet me. And just gives a pat on the head as the cat bumps up. And then on the inside of the box, still squatting down, looking in, is a long haired black cat that is not like chief level outdoor cat, mauled, matted hair kind of thing, but very much a kind of has lived a life kind of cat that's looking out with from the kind of matted and tangled void with yellow eyes and a slow blink at the rest like what? What, you want me to get out of the box? No, I'm comfortable here. Thanks. This Cascade just kind of walks over, kind of squats down next to the cat, looking at it. Cat looks at her. She looks over her post. So this one's mine, she says?
If you will have it, and it will have you.
Looks over back to the cat. Cat had not broken eye contact or look away when she looked away. Kind of reaches out her hand, very lightly raises a paw at it. She stops. Paw hovers in place. She moves her hand in closer. Paw does not move. Hand goes on head. Paw gently goes down with a kind of beep from the cat. Like the activation noise when you touch a cat. That kind of noise. As she begins to very gingerly and carefully pet it. Cat closes its eyes and just kind of purrs, but makes no effort to leave box until it is clear that it is time to actually leave box for reasons of reclaiming box.
Tell them whatever you'd like. Watch how they respond. You will know when you have found their names.
Keep that in mind. I'm sure twins will find theirs much faster than we'll find ours. Granite's cat kind of wanders around, just kind of surveying the area before kind of circling around the others. It's just kind of like, yes, I'm still here. Before Cascade very carefully and experimentally hooks her thumbs under the front legs of the cat of like, do you like being picked up? Nope, okay. You are not a hold cat. You are on your own terms, cat. But the attempt does make her cat sit, stretch his back up, and then hop out of the box to sit.
Everybody gets cat.
Yeah.
We got cats. Whoever wants them, you can just have them. Cats happen.
During this, Milan had gone to chat with Churin about crossbow antics, but got distracted by Cat, and now is just watching Cat.
Shireen has just kind of is now mimicking the kind of purrs and chirps the cat is making back and forth, just kind of working out the noises the cat is making and mimicking them back, and the cat is just kind of going along with it in this kind of circular echo. Cat seems to be quite at home in Shireen's arms.
That's a very cute cat.
And unless there was any other business to attend to, I believe that would be it for here.
Yeah, I'm ready to move on.
Ready, steady.
Yep.
Yeah, can't think of anything.
Nope.
Okay. So, with that,
All right, so I feel like what we do for the approach is we fly as far as where we went to meet Bismuth for the first time, and then after landing, just start walking in.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Because we also don't know how far along exactly it is to get to any of the towns in the woods.
well, the map scale is 4 miles a square, but also, like, this whole area is a question mark of where exactly the lunar territory
Yeah, just
is.
out here is vaguely recognized moon zone. We will have to do some explorating, and we may as well do it on foot so as to not be rude.
We have a town on the map.
These
could
were
Yeah, what do we
these
know
were
about
unlabeled
those?
villages near that territory, but not part of it.
Yeah, we could probably go to one of these places and ask about beast people settlements, villages, homes.
Okay.
Yeah, I second the traveling on foot and specifically looking as unthreatening or unhostile as possible. We are
Okay.
Also-
entering Bismuth Ma's territory. We need to act accordingly.
Landing here, also check up on the former site of the Plague Dome, because that was another wound in the land after the after we won there.
It is still mostly a bare patch of ground, but in terms of repairing itself is going quite well because it is not a there is no essence here anymore. It was just a wild scar. It is rapidly knitting itself back together. There is a already quite shrinkage of the radius via lichen creeping in and other low-lying plants and bits of shrub coming up.
And one last
It's probably going to
diligence.
be years before it is completely gone and unnoticeable, but it is taking care of itself.
One last diligence thing. Would have wanted to fly by of the spire, get a good look at the inscription, see if that has been left unhassled.
That has been untouched.
Good.
What was the spire?
The big iron nail in the ground.
Right.
And the inscription that Repose put on it.
Just marking it as, yep, this is a monument.
This is a place of honor. Many cool things happen here, etc.
We lived.
So, who is going to be your trailblazer in the woods?
Well,
Gang.
probably me, right? I'm the survival boy.
Yeah, so you would be rolling wit survival to basically look for trail signs and anything else while you are going.
Oh god, what is my wits? I think it's 5. Pretty sure it's 5. It is. Okay, well. Roll 10d10. Nice.
Right. So you walk for probably about 14 hours or so, like going into the night. And it is right about when you are considering camping for the first time that Yang hears something in the trees nearby. It's like the sound of a twig snapping, but like a larger branch. Not the sort of thing where a deadwood is falling off, but something settling on a branch and it kind of snapping and having to readjust. Like sounding like something Yang had to guess, probably a couple 100 pounds. It's not no small bird.
Is that a bear?
Where?
Yonder, and I point towards the direction.
This is a path through mostly old growth forest, so you are basically just pointing in a general direction of there be trees. You are in tree forest, like tree sea.
To me, it means something. To everyone else, I'm just pointing off into the fucking wall, basically.
If it's dead forest, there's probably not too much in the way of coverage. Can I see something moving in the trees? Something large?
Perception awareness, please.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and throw out the old boosted awareness. Yes.
You know what? I'm
Wow,
just gonna let
damn.
Repose take care of this one.
You see a very confusing sight for a moment. You see, as basically you're probably traveling by some sort of light, either by your own animas or lanterns or torches. or
Repose
whatever
just
you might
kind of twitches at the prompting and is immediately aglow from 5 peripheral modes getting drawn on. Just sharp breath, snapping, looking in direction, zoning
You
in.
see the eye shine of a cat in the trees, about 30 feet up. Large eye shine. Like, slightly bigger than human eyeballs eye shine of a cat.
Slow blink.
Hell yeah.
There is no blink response from the eyes, but they hold perfectly still, making eye contact before a very slow shuffling forward through the trees. As into view comes what at first you think is a clouded leopard. And then as the forearms are coming forward, you see thumbs wrapping around the branches as it is pulling itself forward. And you see some other furs and leathers and textiles around it, and you're looking at a beast folk. You're looking at someone with the mien of a leopard. There is a short bow strapped across their back. Their fingers are tipped with cat claws that, as they extend and grip, extend out and rip into the trees. A good look at him just makes it look like, wow, that could probably just gut you like a fish. The movements of this person are very slow, very deliberate, and you get the idea that if it wasn't for the fluke of them leaning too hard on a dying or dead wood branch, you probably would never have known this thing was anywhere in the vicinity. This person was just not going to have ever been involved with you or have been noticed.
Okay, here's a weird question. Would animal empathy technique help here at all, or is this just a person?
This is just a person. They don't have the wild mutations that make them hard to read. There are certain cases where somebody with beast folk mutations or wild mutations is so removed from human body posture and facial expressions that you do need other ways of interpreting emotion and body language. But this is very clearly just from the way the eyes are settling on you, the movements, the posturing. It's a slightly, like, it's a different kind of person, but it is a person.
Okay. That's mostly just to see what sort of level we're at here.
Good evening. First in Old, and if that provides no response, then in River.
There is no response to Old speak, and then in River, you show no fear.
Just a slight tip of the head. Should I? Allowing it to be, more clear that he is like glowing and glossy and that you're looking at masonry. Hello.
There is a kind of pause of consideration. It is merely unusual. It's to the point where there is kind of an accent to the river speak being used. It's likely that in whatever enclave or this person lives, likely uses another language or is just not very used to speaking. And
the further you get from the roads, the more specific.
This is a very
Original
heavily
speech you'll get.
dialected version of river speak.
Do you steward these woods?
In a sense, yes. We protect the forest from those who would threaten our way of life, and we provide for ourselves and we keep to ourselves.
Yeah, all right.
And it is actually kind of stopped and like is pausing every couple of words, as it is fairly clear to at least Repose and probably several of the others. It probably hasn't had a conversation with people it isn't familiar with outside of their social circles more than 30 seconds in who knows how long. So it is very, very much stumbling kind of through their word situation of just, huh?
Well, after establishing that they have authority on this patch of land, I will ask permission to break camp here for the night, since that's just polite.
Another slight stare and a nod. And would they? There is a kind of intense examination from those eyes that are glinting in the dim light before the pupil slits dilate out. It extends an index finger and just the claw pointing out. Wild eradication. It's like searching for the exact words and has to settle on those.
If you are referring to south of here,
Did you
They
know any
They
of the
nod.
people who once lived down the way?
Shakes their head.
yes, that was us.
I see. May I approach? I would wish to speak with you.
I don't see why not.
Yeah, sure.
Propose will yawn, stretch, and turn around.
Okay, just
Get started on miscellaneous camp establishing things.
Yeah, just help me start the fire, break out the chairs.
they just climb down head first, using the claws to like very quickly scuttle down the tree bark before standing up, like a little over 6 feet tall, almost 7 feet tall. Muscular, of just very much odd to look at in the sense of it is difficult to tell whether this was once a leopard that was stretched into human proportions or a person that was given leopard features. It is right in the middle of um, anatomical shaping to be like it could have been either originally.
Cool.
Kind of gives another longer stare towards the rest of the crew before taking the bow off of their back, putting it on the ground, and very slowly sitting down next to them as the crew settles down. 1 second. Where in my notes was the list? The leopard bows their head and says, I am Jatieli.
I am Vineeth Milan.
Sort of a look around. I'm City and Shield. Hello.
I'm Yang.
That is Yang.
You can call me Angler. Nice to meet you.
Quick nod. Repose.
Their expression is hard to parse, partially because their expression seems neutral and also mixture of human facial expressions on cat anatomy is takes some mental loops to jump through to translate sometimes, but it seems like they're almost baffled in terms of looking at you. Like expectations were different.
Correct.
This happens a lot.
Situation back to normal.
They are quiet for a few moments again before looking over to give me a read intentions actually at this point for
Okay.
the nonverbal interaction.
Folks good at the reads. Attempt the reads.
Let's say this one has the usual any minuses to intimacies.
As well roll what I got.
All right, that's a 3.
Milan and Angler notice that they look initially at Repose of Repose and can't get any advantage in the way of cat affinity. Yeah, actually you two get 2 dice done. So Repose can roll 2 more dice.
Over to
I'm even gonna try.
But even with that, it is Angler and Milan that notice that at first the leopard, Chatialier, is looking at Repose with the natural instinct of look for the leader, speak with the leader, and also this person seems to speak. Like, the body language from Repose was more comfortable, but then notices Repose is kind of busying himself with setting up camp, and then glances around, doing a quick evaluation of the rest, and settles on Yang being the most
Wow.
comfortable body language for the next person to talk to. And with the two of you, you could probably guess it is because both Yang and Repose are good at speaking, well, cat body language.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no.
I'm gonna guess I'll probably pick up on the vibes and just pat the ground next to the fire.
Jatilir kind of has the tail swish a little bit, but does not move towards the fire, but nods.
Yeah, fair enough.
You will excuse me. I am not used to conversation beyond my kin and the kinfolk that we share our home with.
Yeah, that's fine.
Are you more comfortable in a different language?
Shake of the head. Not one you would understand. It is. Our village has been isolated, and our people have been isolated for quite a long time. It is. Remembering visibly searching for the word. Words used. And there's another pause.
I mean, that's fine. Like, you know, whatever is comfortable for you at your own pace. We
Take
are
your time.
kind of, you know, we are intruding, put it bluntly. So
There's a
we're not
there
really
is a kind of
commands.
slight blink and a kind of flick back of the ears of just kind of like, wow, okay, you're blunt, but you know, I was thinking that. You met with Bismuth Maw, yes?
Or if he monologued at us. But yeah, we did.
Some time
Yes.
ago.
It's all bad.
The gang can tell that Justio Lear does not understand the word monologued.
We were more talked at.
Ah, yes, that. There's a moment of kind of. There's another odd moment of parsing. A feeling of being overawed that you are speaking so casually, but also a moment of that sounds right.
You know how they are.
People in this party surprisingly approachable.
Now that gets a look of actual confusion.
That was out of character.
Okay. They are thinking to themselves again. I am unsure if he thanked you properly after your service, but at least from ours and those he safeguards, we would thank you for help.
Huh.
The wild caused him great distress.
Well,
Silent nodding.
we weren't intending to do that, but like, hey, I'm glad we did.
Another head tilt, kind of thinking, tail thumping on the ground now as the thinking is clearly getting stronger.
I'm going to interrupt and ask a question.
Go ahead.
Bismuth Maw. Is he okay? Good? Healthy?
Ears tilt back slightly and like at first you think the baring of the teeth is an aggression thing, but then you see it's just more like the kind of
That
reaction.
asshole.
No, not that asshole of just like
The
awkward
ooh,
question.
awkward.
Yes, delicate subject.
The sharp inhale. I see.
We are used to our guardian being reclusive and difficult to approach. After the wild was sealed, he has returned to his cave and made clear under no uncertain terms that he was not to be awoken without dire reason. There is not even having to roll, there is the sensation of desperately wanting to say or ask something and trying to work their way into saying.
He did seem troubled at the time we met him by more than was immediately in front of us.
This is not unusual for him from tales of my family. He has been with us for many generations at this point, but even in the past, another pause, holds up both hands and that many fingers. Calibration? 10 years is
Nod.
roughly the
Nodding at the 10 years.
The shift has been dramatic. When I was a child, he would sometimes visit the village simply to be with us, to know us, to speak with us. No purpose, no guidance, no duty, no tasks, simply to be. And those days grew shorter and shorter, and now he seems to resent us every time we wake him, even if he understands why and will assist with what is needed or is informed of what he has missed in his slumbers. Like a storm cloud has moved over him and has refused to move.
You are worried about someone you care for.
Not.
Can we assist?
Just whole body straightens up like that.
You seem, nice. I have no reason to pay you. If I can improve your life, that'd be pretty cool.
Several sentences are typing at the front of their mouth before answering. I would not impose, and also I would not want to make such a momentous decision on behalf of the three kinships, but just trails off with rather desperate-looking eyes.
You're backed up to a wall.
Her pose is willing to slide in edgewise with some nice stabilizing distraction to segue off of that topic to something probably less abrasive. And who would the others of those kinship be?
The bee-eaters and the pangolins. We were once three disparate groups of beast folk with our own tales. We, the leopards, were, as the family stories say, the remnants of the a simultaneous thought of how to phrase it, and also Repose can very much recognize, sort through the sacred taboo words, don't say those out loud, remember what I can say to the outsiders.
Repose is nodding along and looks away accordingly when it is clear that
The incursions.
private subjects are being...
And Repose, just from the weight of that word, this is beast folk, at least the leopards can trace back to the Great Contagion. They probably had their initial family unit mutated during the contagion.
Man.
So...
Why can't the Catboy just be happy?
But the thing happened to everyone.
I know.
Like, that is not a huge weight. Like just from the statement of that is not a huge weight on. It's just more you don't talk about the big sacred.
Propose will go through some naturally unintelligible to this person, but those in the party who do speak Old pick up a lot of the words as he just goes through part of the cycle of respects to the fallen.
Yeah. The others have their own tales. But when Bismuth Maw found the three of us, found that rather than struggle alone, working together, we could support each other and provide for each other in ways that separately we would not have ability to. The pangolins raise their insect farms, and the bee eaters maintain their apiaries. And both feed from both. The honey goes towards the insect farms and the brewing and tributes to Maw. And we, the leopards, patrol the outside and serve as the watch and hunt dangerous threats and take our fill from the life of the forest.
Place contains cats, bees, and alcohol. If it were not already our mission to be here, Repose would be demanding that we go deeper.
Yeah. This is pretty much heaven.
How have I spent my entire life not going past the cliff? This place rocks. This owns.
But yeah, it just is going on, and just out of conversation slightly, there is the bird folk, the bee eaters, whose main job in the village is they are the day watch, they are diurnal, they maintain the apiaries, do a lot of the general like kind of textile sort of stuff. It's the light agriculture they do. They mostly are insectivorous, and the agriculture they do is for textiles and building materials. The pangolins are the infrastructure, building and destroying and digging. Most of the buildings, from the sounds of things, they're just burrows underground that they live in. They tend to giant ant and termite farms and use the excess honey from the apiaries that is not brewed or eaten or used to basically juice up those mounds and use them for traps to provide enough to eat as a person-sized pangolin.
Mm-hmm.
And the leopards, again, are basically just kind of forest wardens slash hunters slash the night watch slash the bodyguards and the backup for in case anything gets violent and the boss is asleep. So, again, from the sounds of it, it's just like, the pangolins had the problem of, we can only eat bugs, and there's only so many bugs out there unless you cultivate them, and we're having a problem with that. And the bee eaters were like, we're flightless bird people. What the fuck do we do? But anything that wants to kill us is gonna get us, and, we can eat a lot of stuff, but we like to, eat bees in particular, because that's what the wild put on us, and the leopards, I mean, they were mostly self-sufficient and okay, but there's also
is going to
safety in
be
numbers.
completely baffled by an encounter of a world where cat and bird cohabitate peacefully.
At the visible confusion of both you and Moat, it's mostly Moat, because, Jatilia can read Moat much more comfortably than Repose. It's just kind of waves a hand dismissively, just the closest statement would be it's too close to cannibalism. It would feel weird.
Moat will remain baffled.
But otherwise, yeah, it's just originally the three disparate kind of enclaves of beast folk had their own issues, and then when Bismuth wandered into this stretch of the forest and encountered all of them, realized, y'all could just help each other, right? and then they settle down in a village and apparently have been working quite well for a while until the usual kind of cloud of depressive funk over, Great Uncle Bear that has been watching over the village has intensified and very recently. And everybody is kind of worried and unsure of how to take that.
Concerning. Well, for my part, for one, it is the first time that I've found opportunity to visit this portion of these lands. And little news of your people travels beyond this area, so... I had before tonight heard little of your ways.
We prefer it that way.
And it is understandable. I will repeat, none of what you choose to confide in me as a visitor to any beyond these lands, unless you in turn still will it. Though, again, for my part, I am one who hunts the common enemy of all living things. So long as the world is underfoot and the skies above, I am in my father's home and my master's domain. Just kind of looking to the sky with appropriate reverence there for day lamp, night lamp, important.
Yeah, it's yeah.
And to that end, I must ask of a few things. You are, of course, free to withhold answers if I ask too much. Are there other divine beasts with whom Bismuth can share the burdens of guardianship of this region?
Awkward silence for a few moments. The only other chosen of the moon we know of in the area is not on good terms with the Guardian.
Just appropriately lowered and whispered, just... Well, actually, probably not even saying anything, just a bit of a gesture to invoke the idea of little hopping bird.
Nod.
Raise of eyebrow. I see.
How are they not on good terms?
Well, we already know that they don't like each other. This isn't news.
Well, I didn't think...
yeah.
I didn't know
Let's
that they
find out
didn't
more,
like
yes.
each... Okay. Out of character, I had forgotten that they didn't like each other. I thought they were on good terms.
Last
Initially.
they spoke, it was "Get out my house."
Okay.
Yeah.
Never mind. Strike that from the record.
Even if there were others, I don't believe the Maw would. It would be unusual for him to shoulder a burden were the need not quite great. Share a shouldering.
by now, Milan has been cooking dinner and is offering, I guess, not knowing what this person eats at first, what Milan has seen Bismuth eat, and is just offering meat.
Taken quite happily. The rain in the soundtrack is actually diegetic at this point. You are now up on the mountain where it is almost always raining lightly. But yeah, the meat is accepted very happily and consumed readily. It looks like that they have not had anything but perhaps rations for a while. Maybe just having bad luck hunting, or just not out on a hunting and more on the scouting. I enjoy just someone going, every NPC in here needs therapy, and just immediately several people correct, no, everyone.
Creation. Everything needs therapy.
Everyone and everything needs a therapist very badly.
Honestly, I'm doing great.
Shut up, old man.
No, you're not.
I haven't said a word in the last hour, but I got the good shit.
Old
Yeah.
man's feeling so good about
I was actually wondering where old man is, but I didn't want to interrupt the flow.
No, that was a good tactical
man.
strike on it.
Old man's player was heating up some ropa vieja.
Nice.
How is it?
It's very good.
So good.
But yeah, no, it's just very gladly eating it, and it's kind of opening up more, still kind of slightly stilted in the conversation because of the dialect difference, but is talking about the kind of some of the history of the village and its development as far as they are aware of it. Mostly sounds like it is passed down through oral history, through the three kinships. Some cross back and forth, some kept between each other. But again, the kind of unifying thing is reverence for the lunar that helped them and brought them together, and a increasing sense of worry that his behavior seems to be kind of falling apart and imploding and reserving itself.
Okay, so team? And I feel like in character, this is something that we would have sorted out over the course of the road, if nothing else, for this day of land travel. How forward do we want to be with everyone involved here about what is going on?
I'm for
Is-
being open with them completely and telling them about Bismuth Moss X.
They deserve to know.
I'm of the opinion we should
Like, I don't want
not
to shit in
tell
someone's
everything
backyard.
yet. Well, hear me out on this. I'm of the feeling we shouldn't tell everything just yet until we have a chance to actually converse with Bismuth and give them the opportunity to explain everything to their people. But if Bismuth's asleep, then yeah, we spill the beans.
Well, I would also put forward here, both from the me and the proposed angle, that part of being God, Beast, and Spiritual Guardian is there are some things that you solve so that no one else has to deal with them, things that people are better off not knowing. So, but both a little bit of the extent to which things are dangerous right now is kind of a private matter. The fact that we know what's going on with Bismuth is not because Bismuth has shared that with us. It's because spies told us.
Okay.
Bismuth is going to be shocked when we know what is going on.
It was a blatant violation of privacy that got you the information you have.
Okay.
Yeah.
In that case,
So there's kind of this gap of how, like, if we just go in and be like, we know about the Dracula, that's kind of a bad look up front. So do we have any ideas of a way to ease into that?
well, second idea I
'Cause
had
that's a
was
difficult question.
It sounds like Bismuth Maw, as the guardian of this region, is not doing guardianship because depression. So, do we step in temporarily and do guardianship things, helping out, assisting, solving problems?
Yeah, that was a sense I got from our previous wave of talking about what we wanted to do out here. Was just come out, do some miscellaneous troubleshooting as a way to meet the locals, and then see how things go from there.
I have no complaint about that. Seems like one of the better paths forward.
And that is also kind of the angle I was working towards with Repose's last bit of dialogue there of, pleased to meet you, I am a monster hunter. I prefer not to talk about borders between any given peoples. I just show up places and scratch at things and then leave.
And Milan's going to offer, well, we've helped Bismuth Maw on the path.
Business mall.
Business Maw.
Yes, I realize I tend to slur my words sometimes.
No, it's fine.
Business Maw is a really good mental image, though.
Is there anything we can do to help you?
Yes, I feel like that's the direction that we're going here. Well, we are... Since we just happened to be passing by, hey, do you have any problems? Hi, we're champions.
Justice.
You live on the ground, you breathe the air, you drink the water. That's we're elements. We're here to help.
We're
Hi.
water.
We noticed you live in nature. We're from there.
Hi, we're from the elements and we're here to help.
Propose would have appropriately more, highbrow and composed and priestly ways to get that across.
I see you breathe air. Did you know that I am air aspected?
I'm from air.
Are you haunted? Do you have
I
ghosts?
also breathe air. I do that too. Same hat.
Do you have ghosts you don't want? Do you lack ghosts you do want?
Call now.
Do you do poison?
Do you have need of a Yaku man to do side
Do you
quests?
need poison? Have you heard of the Yaku man?
Okay, we can now let Darren respond.
Oh no, I was really just having a lot of good fun time thinking about that. And
I
just
think
listening to
our very social hammers should throw some influencing dice to
Good
firmly
idea.
imprint a good impression on our first contact here.
you can choose your social pools as you would like.
I will use Charisma Socialize to get across, hey, we're helpers.
All right.
Charisma socialize of, well, Bismuth is currently resting. Is there anything we can do to help you solve some problem?
Okay, one dice stunt for both of you.
With an auto too, success is all mine. Yeah, all right.
All right.
It's the inflection of the voice to a higher pitch that does it.
There we go.
Fuck. Yeah. Okay.
It's business time.
I don't really have exact dialogue, but you have definitely just kind of won Jatilia's trust, and
We helped Bear once in the past. We
can,
did
of
the demon
course,
thing.
Go and consult your elders and pass along our request and see if they will that we should be invited. We can wait here until you return.
Yeah, we don't want to intrude.
Yeah, that is.
If you would like custody of a hostage, hold out hand that has Moat looking up, curious and excited to go visit place with Walkingbird.
Yeah, Mode has the moment there was the concept of walking bird that cats don't eat. Mode has just been kind of fixated on that the entire
Bird.
time. Like, What?
Friend?
Bird that is bird you don't eat? Bird that helps? What is madness?
The bird that helps.
Explain now.
Yeah, this is less a hostage situation and more Woad is now wiggling out of your hands to jump on the Tialir's shoulder. No. Specifically, for the question in chat, I actually have an answer for exactly what kind of bird they are, and it's, let me just go back up. Because I wrote this down. Blue-throated bee eaters is what they are based on. They're literally called bee eaters. But otherwise, the rest of this would probably just go on for a while. With the relatively big scene to go into the next stuff, and it is getting about to the point where we call it at this point.
Yep, so I figure we would...
Blue-throated beef eater.
Beef.
Think about that.
Yeah, so probably we wait out here at least overnight, and then next time, the adventure?
Next time, Beastfolk Village.
It do be like that.
Okay, but what are you going to tell us about the frog people who sell trucks?
I did really consider making one of the three kinfolk frogs, but
What
I
do you
decided
know of laudanum?
I did really think about that, but I
You know
really
the
like the
tale of
dynamic.
Darth Phrogius the Wise.
I will reach through the screen and throw you out a window.
I'd like to see you
What?
try.
They're just gonna do the Mega Man X slide all the way down. It's not gonna work.
Next time.
Next time, unsheath your blade.